A sight long in the making yesterday when LeBron James and Bronny James stepped on the court together in the Lakers preseason game against the Suns. Shannon, how special was it to see them on the court together?
I mean, it's surreal. I mean, I think we've only, in modern time, I mean, I remember when King Griffey Jr. and his dad was on the field together with the Mariners, and to see this, I never thought it was even possible, because that means Senior is going to have to play well enough, long enough, in order for Junior just to make it to that point. It's an unbelievable feeling, and guess what, Stephen A.? I believe the first game of the season they're going to play, I will be at that game. Now, run tell that. October 22nd, Shea going to be in the house. For sure.
Well, first of all, I find it very difficult to believe that you're going to make the game. I got to see it to believe it, because
you're a hater.
With your damn schedule, who knows whether or not you're going to be there. I'll probably be there. But I will say this. I just want to take a moment to say this in all seriousness. You know, we could talk about how surreal the moment is. I've been very disgusted at the cynics out there who've gotten at LeBron about this. I want to remind everybody who we're talking about here. We're talking about somebody where you can make a legitimate argument. There is no one who has done more for the game of basketball in the modern era. Yes, I could be critical about some jump shooting. I could be critical about him having a podcast when he knows his coach is on a hot seat and stuff like that. But make no mistake about it, I don't slip when it comes to recognizing A, his greatness, and B, what he has meant for the game of basketball. He's earned the right to facilitate his son being a teammate of his. The Golden State Warriors, as recently reported, was considering taking Bronny James, but out of respect to LeBron James and his wishes, didn't do so, according to the reports, which is why he ended up going number 55 to the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's understand that while Bronny has a lot to prove, and we're wishing him nothing but the best and all the luck in the world, LeBron James has earned the right to have the kind of cachet that could manipulate the proceedings to such a degree. This man is one of the top 2, 3 greatest players in the history of basketball, without question. But what he has done as an ambassador of the game, he's earned the right to have himself in this situation for his son to be on that basketball court with him. If it was somebody else, we wouldn't be saying it. Let's make sure we say that about LeBron James. He deserves this. He's earned it. He's done that much for the game.
Stephen A., we see it all the time in coaching. We see it all the time in front offices.
Yeah.
They do it all the time. They got 3, 4 of their sons in coaching. They got 3 or 4 of their family members in the front office, and we don't bat an eye. Now all of a sudden, for the first time in NBA history, oh man, it's nepotism. Half the corporations is nepotism. They got family members working. We're gonna move on, Molly. We're gonna move on. Let's move on. Come on.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, but absolutely, it's unbelievable to see his dreams realized playing out there with his son.
Recently, Bronny did an interview with Joe Varden of The Athletic where he described his NBA experience so far, saying, quote, "I see everything that people are saying, and people think like I'm a fucking robot, like I don't have any feelings or emotions. I always try to just let it go through one ear and out the other, put my head down and come to work and be positive every day." So Bronny doesn't do interviews often, so it's interesting to hear him comment on this. He sees everything, like his pops. I take mental notes.
Everything.
On your
that effing robot, yeah, that's let you know he fed up. He tired. He tired.
Yeah,
He's tired. Like, listen, I'm not an effing robot. All right, y'all. He's letting y'all know. Like, all right.
Not too much.
So, do you understand Bronny's perspective on media coverage?
Yes, it's too much. They dragged it.
Yeah.
They dragged it. So he's a kid.
I know robot.
Like, it's understandable because, you know, yeah, you're famous, right? Your dad is famous. You've been famous since, you know, damn near you were born. And in a sense, you're watching 59 other players get grace.
Exactly.
You know, you got, you know, #1 picks who can play through mistakes. No one's worried about it. No one's mentioned them, right? You got people behind me who's not in the league. You got people in the second round who making $12 million for the 3 to 4 years, and they haven't scored any buckets. And they're in the G League, and everybody, for some reason, no one looks at them, and everyone's focusing on me and all my flaws, right? When I do good in this league, right? It's not the NBA.
It's not the NBA.
Right? But when I did bad down there, it's he can't even play in the G League, right? So it's like he's sitting there like, the fuck is the point? Right?
And on paper, he's like done everything right. Like, he doesn't get in trouble. He seems like he's a great kid. Like,
Think that matters?
it should. It should matter.
I didn't ask you that.
I mean, no, it obviously doesn't matter, but it's just like the way that
I didn't
people.
ask you that.
I mean,
No,
the way that
I'm just saying,
people
though,
talk
like,
about him, and they're like
People don't care about
surprised that.
positivity.
Right, but the fact that people are shocked that Bron felt a way about it, now Bronny's coming out saying that he feels a way about it. I just don't understand why, like, how people are like, well, they shouldn't feel that. Like, what?
I don't think people were shocked. Well, I do think people were shocked that LeBron actually addressed it,
Yeah.
as he should. Like, as a mom, I'm going to address it if you're constantly coming for my kid. And to your point, I think people do talk about those other #1 picks, those other players who aren't doing what they're expected to do. Because it's Bronny, though, it's just elevated.
I have a question.
No, I look at the internet all day.
I have a question. I was watching First Take the other day, and they were talking about Shador and Dion. The conversation that they have with Shador and Dion versus Bronny and Bron are completely different, and I don't understand why.
Well, I think Shador top 5 pick.
I mean, yeah. But yes,
The
he's
reason-
proven himself
yeah,
in
that's-
college, but his dad was his coach. I don't think that would make a
still
difference,
could play,
honestly. I know, but it's like, why
could play.
can't you?
That is the difference.
But like, why aren't
That
you
is the
supportive?
difference. The difference
But their logic was, this is a strong black man supporting his kid and da-da-da-da, but they're
people
not.
taking up for LeBron, people saying like LeBron came to his defense and this, that, and the third. Yes, but you have to accept you don't have to accept it, but the criticism is going to come with it from the outside looking in, right? If you ask the average person walking down the street about this situation, if they just know, is Bronny good enough to play in the NBA? The mass is gonna be like, the mass is gonna say no, right?
So, a random
And
person
the
says
random
no.
person, just because of the
narrative.
the narrative, you ask people, can Shador Sanders play football? It's gonna be no whether
he
it's
can.
the answer's gonna be yes. Because like you said, he's put the time in, he's done this, and because Bronny got drafted, and there's this notion out there that he's not good enough.
Right.
That's it's low-hanging fruit
Yes.
for people. It's easy for people to talk about this, whether he can do 9 things positive, right, score 30 every night, but then it's just this one thing that people gonna harp on, and it's just unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
It
sucks.
sucks in his life right now, right? And it's gonna be his life until either he decides not to play in the NBA or whatever happens. It just...
Because I feel like even if he finds success in the NBA, it's always going to be something.
They're
Always
but
gonna
I'm
be
saying
something.
They're proving it. They're proving it with his G League play. There was a narrative on his G League play. He's not even good enough for the G League.
He started killing.
And then he started
playing
dominating, then they're quiet. And then, right, so then look at his NBA numbers, right? And that's why I said, well, if you take everybody in this draft and you do a per 36, that means if you gave everybody 36 minutes, this is where he will rank. That's stupid. Of course.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't
align
fit the
with what
narrative
she's
you've been
saying.
doing. But at the end of the day, when somebody says he doesn't belong in the league, then that means you have to then consider everyone from pick what. They don't belong in the league. They gotta pick them, right? So you're saying I can't pick him because he's not ready, but I can pick him. He's not ready, right? You got to think about like the second round itself. There's only gonna be about 11 kids in the second round that will be in the NBA by year 3, right? At least 7 kids right now from the second round won't even play. 2 kids that got picked behind him that would have been in Bronny's place. So the kid, this is how you're supposed to look at it. Bronny, remove him out of the equation. The kid that's behind him goes there. He ain't even playing on the team. He got cut damn near in preseason. Summer league. Nobody looks at it like that. Yeah. So he wasn't ready. The person behind him wasn't ready. The person behind him wasn't ready. So what the fuck does it matter about him or the person in front of him or the person in front of him?
Yes, treat him as a fifth. So
you know what I mean? So
what I said from the beginning, right? After the draft, and as we talked about it on the show, moving forward, and all the hype was the Bronny's. Okay, we got the first game out of the way, right? Mm-hmm. Historical moment. Let's have that. I said there was a no-win situation in either situation either situation was a no-win for him. To play in the G League or to play in NBA games right now, there was a no-win situation for him. Because people are going to nitpick, pick. He go down to he can't win right now. So my thing was, don't put him in that situation to give people the ammunition to critique it. Right?
Yeah, but
let him play, let him practice with because you got enough guys you bring in, let him practice every day with NBA guys, let him work out with the NBA coach, let him do all that shit. And the next time we see Bronny is in Summer League. And let him play a few games, see how, and let next year be, because every other guys have done it, it was just because of injury, right? Guys didn't play Blake Griffin didn't play his rookie year. Guys, #1 picks didn't play their rookie year. So why wouldn't we do this for this product that's not ready?
That would even be worse.
No, it would
waste
not.
a pick on it.
No, he's 55th.
No,
He's
what I'm
not
saying-
playing. What other 55th pick is playing though? You're not wasting. You ain't pick him 9.
But a lot of people.
But they-
Oh, that's
but
true,
they
but
treat him
people
like
are
he's
gonna
picked.
exactly. But people are gonna be like, you could have given this pick
then
to
let's treat him
somebody
as
else.
he's 9. If he's not ready to play right now, let's treat it. Chet, the most recent is Chet. Chet didn't play his rookie year. Let's treat him as this product that's not ready.
Yeah, but
Sure,
you know,
what you-
a lot of
but
people are-
nobody's
well, I
ready.
was just- a lot of people are saying, well, it's LeBron's fault because he was like, draft my son. Personally, if I had that opportunity, I would be like, hell yeah,
What
draft
I'm
my
saying,
son.
like,
If I
so we
had
had
a
this-
daughter,
Put
I'm like,
yourself in
yes,
those
draft
shoes.
But
my daughter.
let me ask you, so we had this conversation on the couch, right?
Yeah.
So we were talking the other day, right? Yes. It was Bronny's dream to get drafted into the NBA. He wanted to hear his name being called. That's the goal. That's the dream. Yes? Let it happen. Right? Like I said, what if somebody wanted to pick Bronny at 44? And Gil said, fuck that. Don't draft him. Let me pick him at 55, right? I think 44 is a better situation for him. Just personally.
Why?
Somewhere else.
It's somewhere.
So he's not playing with his dad?
It's happening organically. And you still handling this situation with white gloves, but it's not all of this that he's dealing with. He's still gonna get it, but it won't be under this microscope like it is. It's still gonna be because he's been under this scrutiny since high school. It was gonna be that as is once he got to the NBA.
I get it, but just to have that opportunity to say, to have a father-son
it's a great
duo playing
moment
together.
yes, but it's a great moment for sport. Yes. It's a great moment for their family. I'm not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at what cost?
Yeah.
At what cost, though? Right? For him to have to go for this statement. For this statement, right? So this is what I'm saying. So it's all coming full circle now, right?
It wouldn't be this.
It wouldn't be this statement now. You know what I'm saying? Like he would never have to come out and feel this way.
Well, I think he would.
It wouldn't be on this magnitude.
It wouldn't have, but you got to think about the.
Not even
If he would have got drafted,
on
just
top of it.
what NBA organization who we think highly of? Just take the San Antonio. The San Antonio Spurs is a highly, like we think highly of the San Antonio Spurs, right? With what they have done throughout time since they have always been looked at an upper echelon of organization, as far as class, this, that, and the third, and the way they treat their guys. Just if we put him in that, just there. And this is the message from Rich Paul, the whole crew, everybody. It ain't as being
Like
in
the
LA. You know what I'm
perfect
saying?
storm here in LA.
That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm happy for their absolutely, but
that's
it
what's-
wouldn't have been all of this. But
I think everyone's missing the biggest part of it, right? He's not a normal kid.
yes.
Just like Michael Jordan's son is not a normal kid. If Jay-Z kids,
Yeah.
not normal kids.
Yeah.
Kanye West, not normal kids. Meaning there's an empire that follows the parents and is trickling down to the kids.
Yeah.
Which means Bronny, once he put his name inside that draft, it wasn't about basketball anymore. So you're not gonna let someone draft. This is $1 billion name right here. I can't give this name. I can't protect this name in
Somewhere else.
Miami.
Somewhere else.
I can't protect it in this. The only way I can protect this entity
As if
is
it's right here.
I disagree
If something
with that.
happens on the road,
I disagree with
that affects me.
I disagree
because
You think it could have been on any
they don't
team?
have
You
the-
think it'd be
I
on
didn't
say
any
that.
team?
What I'm saying is
that.
they don't
No,
have
I'm
the
asking.
infrastructure.
No.
Certain teams.
No, certain teams, yes.
No.
I disagree with that, Gil.
Because here I control everything in this umbrella.
That's the
I don't think.
problem.
Right,
I don't
so
think.
like, let this
See,
not a
that's the
good
problem
thing.
right
I
there,
feel
right?
You want to control.
That's the problem.
Yes.
As a child, he needs that. He's growing up. He's gonna become a man. You need to raise him and start treating him as that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And him being under this umbrella, it's not doing him any.
But
Obviously, it's messy.
It's fucking with him.
Yeah. You know what?
Because he's a kid, he's still trying to figure himself out in this world and who he needs to be, who he want to be, what he like, what he don't like, people he like, people he don't like. I shouldn't be have to constantly, since I've been a child, I've been forced because of who my dad is to this, right? I ain't saying this is his thought process, but you have to start letting, like, the fucking feet, like, you gotta start giving line, dog, to let him grow up. Because if he's not, I ain't saying he's a good kid, he's around, he got security, so you put him in the right situation. We ain't heard nothing negative about him in high school, so
Because
therefore,
he's under an umbrella.
but you can, it's still the same umbrella.
My umbrella doesn't reach
It's still,
over there.
he was in high school. His dad didn't go to high school with him.
No, but his
dad didn't go sit there in fucking class. His dad didn't go sit in class with him. His dad didn't go on the road with him.
What happened his freshman year?
he had the heart thing.
No.
What?
He knows high
oh.
school. What happened the freshman year in high school?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't.
Oh, on the
because
stream,
that
right?
trickles down to my ear.
You think that stopped?
Person, huh?
You think that stopped?
But what I'm saying is,
It looked like fire.
What I'm saying is,
But did you think that stopped?
But what I'm saying is, I can't have that on somebody else's because that's
It
not their
happened.
entity.
He happened living in your house.
But I can't.
You can't
have
watch
it-
him 24/7, Gil.
I can now.
No, you can't.
Do you think that
You cannot
I
watch him
can't have a Jordan.
24/7.
What I'm saying is, you think they can have a Jordan moment in the
can't-
Olympics?
you
and
can't
back
have
in
a
America?
20 you
They're
can't
not-
watch him
they're not
24/7,
What I'm
Gil.
saying is,
You just said that.
I can't have a
24/7. You can't. 365, 24/7. You can't watch him.
Sounds horrible.
You can't. You can't watch him. You can't. Listen, you got to
Why
let him
can't
fucking
I?
grow up. 'Cause
What team does he play for?
You got to let him grow up.
What team does he play
Because you control the narrative.
Why?
You control the
Why
narrative.
do you want to watch him
I think it's
He
important.
lived in your, to your point, he lived,
Listen.
he lived in your point, he lived in your house,
No, I just think
and he still did what he did.
When I'm on the road, yes.
He lived, but he still lived in your house.
Then what happened?
So when he goes to the G League,
So do you think
when he
I'm
goes
gonna-
to the G
so you-
League, is LeBron with him?
Do you
then?
think I'm gonna let
when
it
he goes
happen
to the
in-
G League, is
Or you-
LeBron with
Or
him?
you think I'm gonna let it happen again?
It ain't what you're gonna let.
Right, he's a good
Yeah, but you
kid.
can't-
It ain't what you're gonna let.
You
It
can't
is.
control that part.
They raised.
So you think LeBron let the first situation happen?
No, it happened on my.
So my point
has it
exactly.
happened
Gil.
again?
happening.
You want my point
Has
exactly?
it happened again?
Yeah, my
Because
point
I can
exactly.
control it.
No, you can't.
I am.
That's your
Why-
problem.
You haven't even paid attention to LeBron James. In
That's your
22
problem.
years, while LeBron was on someone's
Who ain't
team,
paid attention?
have you seen
course.
anything negative
Yes.
on a
No,
teammate?
you have. Okay, cool. Well, we all know that.
I want you to
Talk
think about what I
his
just
son
said.
here.
Have-
What happened?
Have you
You
heard?
said he can watch him 24/7. Yes
I
or
let
no?
you. Yeah, I'm asking you one question. In
Yes.
22
I said
years.
no. I answered your question. I just answered your question. If you would listen, I answered the
That's
question.
all that matters.
Stick together.
But like you just said, he
300
can watch him
teammates.
365 days a year, 24/7. He can't. If the kid gonna do something, he gonna fucking do it whether his daddy's there or not. Whether his daddy is there or not, He's going to do it whatever, no matter what his dad got to do or say. So let him grow up is what I'm saying. Eventually, you got to motherfucker take him off the nipple in the fucking funnel and let him grow up. That's what I'm saying. You can't keep fucking, you can't. When this shit go left, he don't know how to deal with it. If some negative shit go on, let him, I ain't saying you gotta let him fall off a fucking cliff, but eventually there's some bumps and scrapes along the way that will help.
But what if I could stop it?
I've been stopping it for...
Did you think
I've been stopping it,
but I know, but like...
I've been stopping for 22 years.
But do you think they might have...
That's what I'm saying. It's 22 years, no one on the team... all the personalities he's ever had on his team.
Everybody knows that.
They never got in trouble.
You want to reiterate again? Hey, everybody.
Because
people
I let you talk, dog.
People don't get in trouble with LeBron James. You already said it.
So
you already said
I'm going to draft my son so he doesn't get in trouble. So everything you said actually means nothing because I've done it for 22 years. I've done it for 22 years.
To other people.
So you don't think I'm going to do it to my son?
That's fine, Gil. You can do that. You're doing it. Absolutely.
I just think it's important that the fact that, you know, the reason why Bron wanted his son to be drafted to the Lakers, the heart thing that he had up in D.C., right? So if I'm a father and I'm playing, if I have the opportunity to control it and to be able to get my son with me every day where medical staff, his mom is around, everything, for the first couple of years, I think it is important because my son just had a heart thing. I don't want to be on the road and my son is in Dallas or San Antonio and I just get a call, well, shit, he fell out again. I can't be there. Like the mom can't. Like we don't. It's just too.
So the same thing can happen now, Brandon.
Yeah, but
so if he plays in a G League game somewhere,
right. His mother's there.
The same thing can happen, dog.
But it's still close to the mother's right there. Like the family's right there.
He was at USC. They live here. She still had to drive. You can't control it.
But do you think they may have miscalculated the response
I hear you, yes.
of all this?
You can't.
But you're saying you can't.
So you can control a hard situation, Gil?
You're saying you can't.
Gil, you can't control every situation.
But what I'm saying is you're saying you can't.
You can't.
But he's done it for 22 years, so how can you say he can't?
He couldn't prevent, so he could control the hard situation his son had?
No, I'm saying if
that's what I'm saying. You can't control everything, Gil. The shit that's public and going on with guys, you can have control over. You can have a party. You can tell everybody to check their phones in. You can do all of that shit to protect your brand. Your teammates. Yes, I'm saying yes, Gil. Absolutely. He has done all of those things. Cleveland, Miami, Lakers, USA Basketball, wherever else LeBron James has been, guys that's been around him, he has protected them. Absolutely, in that regard. Absolutely. But I'm pretty sure those guys have vices. They go home. Shit is going on in their life. He can't control that. He can't. He couldn't control his son's situation, unfortunately. Shit happens. You control what you can't control. Yes, absolutely. But life happens. Life goes on. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. Like Brandon said, in a couple of years, we don't know what the situation is going to be in a couple years, so I get, yes.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Would I want my son right now? Absolutely. But what I'm saying is you got to let him fucking grow up. I'm not saying he's not, but situations where we come up in this NBA, it ain't easy.
No.
Right? It's not. Things happen. Learn how to deal with them. Rather having somebody fucking take care of it for you all the time. I'm not with that. Some shit you gotta learn and it's just life. This is life I'm talking about here. We ain't talking about sports, we're talking about life. Shit happens along the way and you gotta fucking learn how to deal with it at times. You ain't gonna always be able to call on him. And this is what, like, yes, Ben, what he's done, what the history of his father, the heart, all of those things are true, yes. But life is going on at the same time as all this controlling going on. Life is going on as well. Ain't saying somebody ain't plotting on him. One of these little girls on the road coming to the situation, she getting out, he don't know how to deal with it. other than call him. It might not. It might be too late, is what I'm saying. He might not know how to deal with the situation when he's in it, because he just.
So don't you teach him that? Like, right? Like, don't you?
You can tell him, but what's
Yeah,
the best
right. Just tell him, right?
What's the best experience?
No, but the best experience is learning. But why would I want that to happen?
I ain't saying you want it to. Did I say you want it to happen, Gil? Listen, fucking listen sometimes instead of just.
No, you've been talking the whole time. Nobody's interrupted you at all.
I didn't say I want it. Don't nobody want it to happen. I'm saying as you controlling everything over here, life is happening simultaneously. And not to say that one of these, if you heard what I said, I don't want no little girl to trap him. No, I'm not saying that. But is it a possibility? At the same time, and him knowing, like, shit, he don't know. So,
but I do.
We're assuming.
But I do if I'm LeBron. I know how to deal with this situation.
We're making all these assumptions about how he's living his life.
So I can deal with it easier in Los Angeles versus him somewhere else that happens to that I'm in San Antonio. So if something happens in San Antonio, I have no control over that. I don't know no one there in San Antonio. Here in Los Angeles, this is my kingdom. I can get to whatever situation I need to ASAP. San Antonio, no SAP. So whatever's gonna happen, that's that team's. That team's. What's the name? Just like the shit that happened with Jordan's son in Paris. Same thing that happened when he got here. Right? Who does that affect? Big Father. Bron stopping. I don't need that. We got too much going on.
Too much money.
For you to learn how to be a kid or an adult and make mistakes. You're not the kid that is allowed right now to bump your head. You need to be a professional first. So knocking on your door, joint rooms, my room, your room. There's not going to be nobody sneaking over. Security guard in the front of mine, security guard in the front of yours.
So
when you in San Antonio, that's not a case.
So when
because that's guaranteed.
When he's with the G League,
you talk about him like he's 12.
He goes to play and come home.
Flex, that's what it still is.
I know it's weird.
Why do you think he's not on the road?
I think it's odd.
There's a reason.
Because you're like, he need to grow up, but then everyone talks about him like he's a child.
No, I think I'm a
like
firm
he
believer
still
in
is a
letting him grow up.
kid by age, but
that's what
he's
I
a
said, there's a
professional
price.
athlete.
he is a child.
But he's still a professional athlete.
There's a price, but there's a price tag on the child.
He's not the only one this age in the NBA.
But we're seeing it with every other parent. These kids that Kanye's West kids, we are watching it. They're not letting them motherfucking kids out their sights. The Michael Jackson kid, nobody's letting
But
them
honestly,
kids.
and that's more about.
You can't go out there and just
That's
be
more about
normal.
other people than their own kids, though.
Huh?
That's more about other people than their kids. Like I feel like they trust their kids. It's everybody else that they don't.
I'm
trust.
watching. I'm watching a basketball game, right? I'm watching Bryce play, and the security guard is standing right behind the bench. All right. And I'm like, so you can't like go sit on the front row? Like, it's just.
Oh, you saw that
if
video
somebody
about
gonna do something, they gonna do it. You can't prevent it, right?
No.
But if he in the game, you still standing behind the bench, like.
They put him on the court.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you can't. But you get what I'm saying though. Like, if he's on the floor playing, he's playing. You still standing behind the bench, like.
It's because people are weird.
It's the prevention.
What he gonna do?
Do you saw them people screaming at Bron on him?
If you sit on the front
I don't even want you to
row at the basketball game,
the prevention.
right? You sit on
they
the front
don't know
row.
who that
If you
is.
standing behind the bench at the game,
Yeah, so people know.
he in the game playing.
I know, but people gonna
security.
run on the court.
Same
You said it
security
the other
guard.
day.
I'm
You
saying
said about-
you got a better chance to get to him if he's in the game.
Investments,
You got a better chance of seeing what's going on and running on the floor from there. I'm just saying, but I'm just like, yeah, but people crazy as shit,
What I'm saying is,
absolutely.
put Bronny James on 2 years ago, Houston Rockets. Now think about, remember, he's still a kid, so just like any kid, I want to fit in, right? I want to fit in because, so he's going to want to fit into the group. What does that look like?
Oh, my son was on that team, so.
That's what I'm saying. What does that look like?
Well, KJ's a good kid, so.
No, besides, but what does the rest of the team look like?
They were good kids. The only one that was a problem was Kevin Porter at the time, so.
See?
All right, well, let's keep.
For one, they
league is
when
full of
none of them
good-
old enough to get in
A
there.
lot of the kids are
Hold on.
good.
I'm saying none of them old enough to get in there.
Some
Well,
are
you got
not so
Jalen-
good.
Jalen
But I would say a lot of them are good
Jabari,
kids.
has to do
Tyree,
with how you're raised.
KJ.
Have a level of discipline to become a professional athlete.
Yeah, no,
Send
but,
boom.
but just like anything, when we first get into the NBA, like especially when you're younger, you're looking to try to fit in. You're like, you will hope that you get on a team that has good veterans, that got veterans that's actually trying to look out for you.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have that, then it's really up to the people who's there.
Yeah, you get lost.
Right? So if you got a group that loves to party because they all young and they're trying to outdo each other in the money, then that's what you end up,
Falling into.
you know.
Or get left out.
Yeah. Or you get onto a veteran team or veteran organization like Spurs, their organization is protected. Miami, that organization they protect their investment by
So two
putting
places.
so much.
What I said.
So two places that Bronny probably could have been okay.
But for the most part,
What's up, the place?
I can't allow my, like, there's just certain, he can't allow his child to go there and he don't have no control of it. Like, your investment, my investment for my child is not your investment, right? He's a 55th pick for you.
I mean, from the outside looking in, like in hindsight, would y'all have expected it to become this big deal that it's been? And do you think that maybe like LeBron's can't, like, you know, you do like risk reward things when you're making decisions. Do you think that they predicted that it was gonna snowball and get out of control like how it has? I mean, I think you have to consider it, but I feel like it's been a bit excessive.
Well, one person they didn't consider in this shit is the person who we're talking about.
Yep, Bronny, yeah.
One person who they didn't consider how this was going to affect him, they didn't consider Bronny in none of this shit. None of it.
Who didn't?
The team. The whole team. Or this statement wouldn't be relevant. He wouldn't feel this way. I'm not a fucking robot, is what the kid said.
Right.
He wouldn't feel this way if he was considered in all these decisions that's being made. If they considered him and how he feel and his feelings, and if it was about him, he wouldn't feel like, he wouldn't have to state, I'm not a fucking robot. His exact words, I'm not a fucking robot. He wouldn't feel this way if he was considered. If somebody asked this kid, what do you want? What would you like? What do you feel about this? How would you?
You don't think
You're
he
talking
wants
about
this? You don't
not
think he
getting
want that?
drafted?
The pressure of all of this shit, Brandon,
Tell
not
us
a
what I think. I don't think that they thought it was
He want to
gonna
play
turn into all
basketball.
this.
Right, so you didn't think he
Yeah,
did.
but he's
Like, I think
not
it's like, oh,
I know, but you didn't think like he
number
thought this
one
was
goal
coming
and all
from
this?
like
This
high
is-
school
no,
on
this
up?
is
Like you
crazy.
didn't thought none of this
What
was
has been
coming.
going on
No,
is insane.
No,
The
this
grown man and
It's
everybody talking
insane.
about your every move, your every existence.
No,
But
they
he
were
had
not.
That you can't do
He had
nothing
to know.
right.
No.
You ain't even
Not
got
at this
started
level.
right. You can't
Not
you
at
ain't even
this
got
level.
started
But I
yet. You can't
guarantee
do
LeBron
nothing
had
right.
that conversation
No,
with
no.
That's
them, though.
hard.
No, the problem.
That's hard.
It is hard.
I think what
You can't do nothing right.
What
Too much.
was kind of overlooked in this whole situation is this. I don't think anyone realized that anyone who didn't like LeBron
Who's gonna take it out on his
was going to
kid?
take it out on him because he's averaging 27. I can't fuck with his legacy. So
Because I've been trying to.
So the weakest part of his legacy is here. I can fuck with this all day. Oh yeah, 4 minutes, 0 points. Oh, you get to do that because it's the same name. Because you can't fuck with this one, right? So I don't think no one knew everyone was stooped that low.
Yep.
Just to say ha ha.
Just sad.
Right? I mean,
In this climate, they didn't
I know
think that.
that's the problem.
Shit,
Right?
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
You didn't think the professionals
If
was
you
going to
didn't
come
think
down
that,
this
that's
low.
crazy.
People thrive off negativity. as we
And
know.
I'm sitting there like,
But yeah, not like the internet trolls. We talking about the people who are on TV and stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. When you think about everything that has LeBron James' name on it,
A lot of shit.
they've ruined the happiness of it, right? Think about the narrative of just the Olympics and the gold medal. Only because he's on that team, we want them to lose. Who's gonna beat him? Right? You're pushing Euro teams now. American media is pushing Euro teams to beat our American team. First time in history.
Yeah,
We're cheering for every American. You got our American boys out there going to everyone's team, cheering fucking lacrosse. You out there, sports these niggas don't even know of. But when it came to the men's basketball, all media want, whose team is it?
over?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Then at the end of the game, Steph Curry say this, yay, right?
That's
LeBron,
weird.
LeBron had to, like, wait, what?
So weird. So
LeBron,
What?
Steph had to save LeBron.
Yes, Steph had to say LeBron medal and all that. What? I thought
Put all that shit to the side.
I thought the gold was the gold.
I thought this was about America.
Well, I didn't know Charles
America.
Barkley saved Michael Jordan gold. I didn't know the rest of the starting four that played very well saved him in his 26% from field. I didn't know that. I thought we fucking won gold and everybody was heroes.
Ducks fly
But
together.
because he's on the team, no one likes it anymore, right? Oh shit, he won the bubble sucks. Disney, easiest one. When every NBA player who played in the bubble
was the
said it's the
hardest
hardest
part.
shit ever,
Yeah.
media says it's the easier one because who won?
Yeah.
Right? It's like y'all got to let the shit go, okay? Listen, if you don't have him number one, that's fine. Can he be number two? Can he do three? Whatever number you have him in, it's cool. Just let him play. Like,
So, I have a question. Is it because Bronny is LeBron's son that he's not open for criticism?
Pippen had a son. Pippen has a son in the NBA.
No, because I think any athlete, right? When you're out there, you're an athlete, you're a pro, you're open for criticism.
But it's like over
It's gonna
the
happen.
top.
I agree. Some of the shit that they say about him, I'm like, y'all,
And then when
y'all
he does
doing
well,
way too much.
and when they do
my issue is when, like, LeBron as his father, not his teammate, when he addresses the disrespect and how you come in for my kid, like, I think he has every right to do that because now you're protecting your child, going back to what you said. But if it's strictly talking about basketball, his game, we all get criticized.
Yeah. But that's the thing, because it's not about basketball.
All right, well, let's get back.
Was it Pippen's son, right? Was in the NBA, right? His first year, he got in 6 games, shot 33%, 55% from the free throw line, right? Scored a total of 14 points. No one said anything, right?
Well,
And you look at him now,
when he got
3
in the
years.
league, when he got in the league, his dad
was
was done.
But I'm saying,
Right.
but you see how he looks and in Villanova, that motherfucker balled 3 years straight
Agreed.
in Villanova,
Agreed.
right? And you see it took him time. Right now, 3 years later, he's an NBA player.
Yeah,
3 years later, he's
I
an
agree
NBA
with
player.
that.
He's a functional NBA player. He knows how to play the game. It took some, but I'm saying he been had it, but it